recovery leads to 6 points for the Seahawks.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon.
Now this will make it into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field.
And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within.
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices, it's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the...
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Russell Wilson on target to DK Metcalf.
And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Now Myers for the extra point. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
Defense. Man, that ain't make no sense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Kickoff for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Now this will make it into the end zone.
Oh, and miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Still going inside the 30.
Recovered by the Jets.
And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That'll go in the books as a loss of 20, and that's going to bring up a second and forever. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. Hey, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On second and a long way to go. Wilson, left side complete to Lockett. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, one by land, two by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this carries into the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
At their own 22-yard line.
And New York set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
You gotta love it, baby. Give me some more.
And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. So Russell Wilson in the offense. Down by 10. A little over a minute to go. They've come so far this year, but they need 2 quick scores late in this Super Bowl. Looking left side, and it's complete. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate, but the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part 1 of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick. He's back to throw. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. And one of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. New York ready to go again offensively. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
Now they'll run it on the toss.
What's up?
And a most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild, and at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it, but you know every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left,
Ain't doing nothing.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett with time running out. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the fourth.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
This is taken just shy of the 10.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
So now the focus shifts to the Jets, trailing by 4, 23 seconds to go. A touchdown could win the Super Bowl as they've got a first down. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Now they burn the timeout, and they're kind of in that gray area where they might be able to get 2 plays in, but maybe just 1 play left in this ball game. We'll see. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Incomplete on the deep ball. It's second down and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And the Seahawks are the class of the NFL. Seattle wins the Super Bowl.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
After all the talk, it's time for football, and here we go. Super Bowl 55 is underway.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's take over first and 10.
On second down, it's Carson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
3rd and 17.
And Super Bowl 55 down to the final 2 minutes. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it.
Take off your helmet and give me a
And touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch? Completion of a play. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will make it into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
1st and 10. At their own 20-yard line.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it, but you know every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. So Wilson and the Seahawks down by 8, 1:08 to go. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. Missed tackles may doom this team.
I just had a bad flashback. That's why I'm sitting up here with you right now. You've got to tackle him inbounds. You've got to wrap him up.
Now Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep down. This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. First and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Back to throw. And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a two-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go. The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have two to possibly take this to overtime.
One more hurdle here. They need the two-point conversion to, for the moment, stay alive in these playoffs. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the fourth. Huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job one was taken care of. The two-point conversion to get this thing tied.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 5 at the 3.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he's out right at the 25. That good for 22 and a first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Back to throw now on first down. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. They'll look to throw here on first down. They'll let this go for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. He's going to let it go again. And the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only one period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
They're on the 25-yard line.
And now back out comes the offense. A touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Rolling to his right. He's going to take off with it. He'll have a first down past the 40. And all the way up to the 46. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Bobby Wagner, multiple times an All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss.
And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You're talking about guys that...
And the pressure gets to him again. Bobby Wagner able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. They're going to look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Seahawks are going to call another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. They win the Super Bowl.
Touchdown, Jets.
And the New York Jets have won the Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy will be in the Big Apple.
51.
And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists a Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.